dear Bagginses and Boffins.
Welcome back, everyone. It is your favorite time of the week. It is time for Lord of the Rings meme review. This is where we take a look at some of the most recent memes for the Lord of the Rings. We explain them if they need explanations. We break them down, and we have a nice laugh. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Do you want to take us away?
Sure. Therapist? So, what's the problem? Wife. He won't stop quoting Lord of the Rings. Me. I'm sorry, I'm just so tired. I feel. Wife. Stop. Therapist. No, let him talk to me. I feel thin, sort of stretched, like butter scraped over too much bread.
Now, the thing is, I actually have used this quote before to talk to people, and I always like it because it's one of those ones that people don't recognize right away. They just think it's an odd statement. In fact, I can use a lot of Lord of the Rings quotes to talk to people, and I don't know what I prefer more, if they recognize it or if they don't. It's kind of fun either way for me. But this one's good because I'm sure a lot of people, especially on these subreddits and groups on Facebook, have this issue with people in their lives where they are told that they've been quoting Lord of the Rings too much. Do you have any problems with that, or do people not recognize it when you do it?
Largely no, and if the ones who do recognize it appreciate it, so it works out.
Yeah, the problem is I have people in my life that recognize it and don't appreciate it, and those are the people that would take you to a therapist like this. All right, next up we have Galadriel, and says, and for you, Samwise Gamgee, this cool stick I found. You can pretend it's a sword and swish it around like this. Actually, no, I'm keeping this. I think this is in reference to people thinking Sam didn't get a gift from Galadriel, because in the movie, especially in the non-extended edition, they do gloss over this scene quite a bit, and so you only get to see a handful of the gifts anyway. But we know that Sam actually got quite a few gifts, not just a stick.
And the box of dirt.
That's right. So the box of dirt is magic dirt, I should point out, and the rope is special rope that Sam was enamored with, and because Sam is also a bit of a rope connoisseur in the books, he makes his own ropes and is a knot expert and all this stuff, and so he was really examining this elvish rope, and so yeah, he does get gifts. Don't worry, they don't forget about Sam. But I think that's what this meme is sort of pointing to, because it seems like Sam doesn't. He kind of gets shafted.
You getting a stick would be getting shafted.
And then she just says, "No, I'm keeping this." All right.
Next. Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. Hobbit meat, right, boss? Hobbit meat, right, boss?
So skipping and glossing over the fact that these Uruk-hai and orcs know what a menu is. Yeah, I mean, this one is a bit spoilery. Is it spoilery? I mean, it's a kind of a silly scene, but yeah, essentially that the orc on the right wanted to eat the captured hobbits. Merry and Pippin were captured after Fellowship, and the one on the left is the leader, and he has strict orders to bring the hobbits to Saruman unspoiled. So he knows that he can't have his orcs eating these hobbits, even their legs. So he says no to eating the hobbits. This orc pushes back, and so he decides, okay, we'll just kill one of our own and become cannibals.
Yeah, and it's also alluding to a prequel meme format from Star Wars with
yes,
Anakin and Padme.
That's right. Yeah. There's a lot of crossovers there, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, up next. Do you wanna do this one?
Sure. So it's Morpheus. You choose. And he's holding the One Ring and a tomato, and Denethor has to choose.
This one's a bit deeper than most of the memes. So yeah, you've got obviously Matrix has just come out with their kind of, it's not really a reboot, it's almost just like a fourth one years later. And from the original Matrix, Neo had to choose between
the red pill and the blue pill.
and it's supposed to be, here's the funny thing. It's supposed to be a hard choice, but it's really not a hard choice in the Matrix. And in fact, they actually make that joke. If you see the newest Matrix, they actually make that joke in this new Matrix movie that it was never a hard choice. Although you must choose, the choice should be pretty easy to anyone. Whereas in this meme, with Denethor, this is a hard well, it's jokingly a hard choice, because on the one hand, he does want the Ring of Power, as all men do. They are drawn to it. But also, he really likes these tomatoes that he eats in one scene in particular. And so the joke is clearly that he can't decide whether or not he wants the Ring of Power to completely dominate mankind or to eat more of these tomatoes in a very gross fashion. All right. Next up. So we've got a young Elijah Wood saying, I don't think that a person should run unless he's being chased. And then we've got a very witty comeback here from someone. Maybe that's why it took you so long to get to Mordor. Now this kind of goes to that whole joke also that Lord of the Rings is just a movie about walking, or a series of movies about walking. Because, yes, they do have a lot of walking. But, I think this one will be appreciated by a lot of people, including those that aren't even that big of a fan of Lord of the Rings, because this is one of their complaints. All right.
Okay. Whenever someone puts on the One Ring, and then there's Sauron pointing at the screen.
with a beer and cigarette in hand. Yeah, I mean, this is sort of what I kind of envision it as, is that he's kind of just scoping out and like looking all over the place, and as soon as that ring pops up, he just snaps and goes over there and just sends sends people over there. But yeah, that wraps it up for our meme review for Lord of the Rings this week. Let us know in the comments down below what your favorite memes are. We would love to take a look at them. And stay tuned for next week, and we'll see you guys there.
I regret to announce this is the end. I bid you all a very fond farewell.